Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with a new chapter of economics, chapter number 4, Globalization and the Indian Economy. Children, it is a very interesting chapter where you are going to know a lot about globalization, multinational corporations, what is foreign trade, and what is liberalization, what is the role of WTO, that is World Trade Organization, and a lot more, which are very interesting topics for you. You might have wondered that when we go to buy a product like a football, which has a branded name, it is very costly. In the same manner, when we go to buy any kind of textiles, goods, any kind of goods which are branded, when generally we see that they are costly. So, do they really cost so much? Where are they made? If it is written on that, made in Germany, do you think that it is really made in Germany? So, let's see in this chapter about all these things. Before we start the chapter, children, in the first page here, globalization, we can see that there are few pictures over there. The pictures show markets, different markets are shown over there. Now, what should we wonder is, in your childhood, you might have seen different types of markets. Today, the type of markets we see are entirely different. In the past days, we used to see only the cars like Ambassador and Fiat on the roads. But today we see all branded cars of even the foreign countries' cars, Ford Motors, etc., on our roads. In the same manner, today we see all types of goods in the market. Maybe it is an American product or a Japanese product or a French product. We can see all the products available within our country itself. So, what is that has undergone change in the few years? So, the question asked from this part is how markets have been transformed in the matter of years. How markets have been transformed in the matter of few years. That means how the markets have undergone changes. In the past, there used to be a small kind of a market where there used to be small shops which used to sell a particular kind of a product. For example, if it is a shoe shop, they used to sell only the shoes or slippers, etc. If it is a garment shop, they used to sell only garments. If it is a stationery shop, they used to sell only the stationery goods, and there used to be a particular place for the market. In the whole locality, there used to be only one market, and the competition was less because the producers were also very less. Suppose in a market, there used to be only one shoe seller. So the price, whatever the price was quoted by that person, the people had to buy. But what is the difference now? Now we can get all the goods under one roof. For example, you go to a mall. In a mall, you get all goods. You go to a big shops like Big Bazaar, etc. You will see that you will get all types of goods over there. From plastic toys to the big sofas, you can get everything under one roof today. Not only that, today as a consumer, we get lots of varieties of goods, lots of choices of the goods. Even all foreign branded goods we can get in our country within our reach. and a lot of range of prices. Because there is so much of competition, we get the goods at the low prices also. Variety of goods, low priced goods, and because the competition is there, the quality of the goods is also generally good. So that is how today the markets have been transformed. But how do we understand this rapid transformation? What are the factors that are bringing these changes? How can we get all the goods which are made in Germany or Japan, or I mean all the goods in our country within our reach? How are these changes affecting our lives? Then how these goods are changing our lives? We are able to get more goods which can make our lives comfortable. So let us go into deep into the chapter to know answers for all these questions which are coming into our minds. So let's begin now the first part of the chapter, which is production across the countries. You know what kind of trade was there in earlier days? In earlier days, also, say long before even the Britishers ruled or during the British rule also, what kind of trade was there? The trade was only simply exchanging the goods. Like if you are a producer and if you are an owner of a company in the past, say your forefather, your grandfather, his grandfather, they were the producers and they used to produce the goods in one country, that is in our country, and they used to simply export those goods to the other country. That's it. We used to produce here, our factory is here, our industry is here in our country, and suppose we are producing the cotton garments. These garments were simply exported to the other countries. How they were exported? They were exported through the sea routes, water routes. So that was a simple trade which used to take place in the past. But what is happening now? Now, first of all, we talk about now the companies are not the small companies. Now some of the companies are called as multinational corporations, which are very, very big companies, large companies with huge wealth, more than the wealth of the government. The developing countries' government doesn't have that much money which these multinational corporations have. So now what is this multinational corporation is doing? A multinational, first of all, let us see what is this multinational corporation. Why we are calling it as multinational? National means one country, our country. Multinational, several countries. In several countries, they produce the goods. So let's see what is this. A multinational corporation is a company that owns or controls production in more than one nation. So what do these multinational corporations do? They produce the goods in different countries. Now what is the difference between the earlier trade and the trade which we are doing now by the multinational corporation? In earlier days, I told you, suppose I am a producer, I will produce the goods here and simply I will export the goods. That's it. But now, again, I am a producer. Now now my company has grown big. I have become multinational corporation. How? Now I am not only producing goods in my country, but now I have invested my money in other countries also. I have in Japan also my company. I have my industry in maybe France also. I have my company in Germany also. I have my company in US also, and I am producing goods there. I am not producing goods here and sending them. So what I am doing now, presently, I am producing the goods in different countries. I have set up my factories in different countries. So that is how my company today has become a company to a multinational corporation. So what is the difference between a company and a multinational corporation? A company will produce the goods in its own country and then export the goods. Simply. But a multinational corporation company will produce the goods globally. For example, McDonald's. McDonald's is a US company. Do you think the McDonald's is producing the goods in America and then exporting them here? Are they making the burgers in America and sending here in India, China, Japan, etc.? Definitely not. So what the multinational company McDonald's has done? McDonald's has set up its own multinational, its own company in the different countries of the world. That's how it has become a multinational corporation. Multinational, many different countries, it has set up its company. Multinational corporations set offices and factories for production in regions where they can get cheap labor and other resources. Now, multinational corporation, why do you think that a France company or a US company will set up its factory or industry in China or in India? You might have, if you have gone to the places like Gurgaon, or if you have gone to the places like Noida, which are adjoining, or if you have gone to the cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore, you will see most of the call centers are here. Most of the call centers of IT industry are here. And they are not Indian call centers. They all are foreign call centers. American call center, British call center, French call centers are here. Why is it so? Why their companies' call centers are set up in our country? What is a call center? In a call center, a person will give information about the product and also give the services for the product. So why those call centers are lying in India? It is because multinational corporation will set up their production units, that is their factories, industries, companies in those countries where they can get cheap labor and other resources. This is done so that the cost of production is low. Why do multinational companies will go to countries like India or China and set up their production units, that is their companies in other countries? It is because by doing so, their cost of production is low. Their investment will be low. If their investment will be low, what will happen? Their profit will be very, very high. So let's do one example which will further clear what we are doing in this part, how the production across country is done. And it's a very good example to explain you this part. Spreading of production by an multinational corporation. A large multinational corporation producing industrial equipment designs its products in research centers in United States. So let's talk about, for example, a laptop has to be made and the company is of America. It's an American company, that is the owner is of America. It's an American company. It wants to produce a laptop, a new design laptop. So the designing is done in America. After only designing is done in America. Then what happens to the rest of the things? Then the components manufactured in China. The company belongs to US. Where are they manufacturing components? The parts of this laptop. That is done in China. Why in China? Because in China, manufacturing is very cheap. The parts are sold at cheaper prices. Then these parts are shipped to Mexico and Eastern European countries where the products are assembled and the finished products are sold all over the world. From China, they are sent to the countries like Mexico and Eastern European parts, where the parts are assembled and the final product is made. Why now you may think Mexico and Eastern Europe? It is because the finished product is from there. It is easy to send it to the different parts of the world. So that is why the finished product is made in Mexico and Eastern Europe. So now the finished product, that is your laptop, is finally done. What is left? Now, the company's customer care, once you sell any product, like anything, maybe it is an AC, maybe it is a big machine, printing machine, or maybe it is a laptop, whatever it is, you have to give the services. You might have seen at your home, anything goes wrong for any product, you call the service people. So that is what I'm talking about. Servicing is must. So the company's customer care, what anything happens in your house, any product gets damaged, you will call the customer care center. So that customer care center is called as call center. So that call center of this company is located in India. You may wonder, it's an American company, owner is in America, parts are made in China, final product is made in Mexico. Why call center in India? It is because in India we have large number of educated, skilled and unskilled. Educated skilled labor and uneducated unskilled labor available in India at a very cheaper price. In call center, who are required? In call center, youngsters who just know speaking English are required, and also engineers who know, the software engineers who know the technical problems of a laptop, they are also cheap in India. So if in India they set up a call center for every labor, if the call center is set up in America, then for every labor, suppose they have to pay 1 lakh rupees in America. I know it is in dollars. So let's, if you convert the dollars, suppose they are paid 1 lakh rupees in a month in America. But in India, a software engineer, even a 12th pass child who can work in a call center is available just for 20,000 and 30,000 rupees. So for every labor, American company is able to, any multinational corporation is able to save more than 50 to 60% of profit. So let's sum up this part. The same what I explained is here, children. In this example, MNC is not only selling its finished products globally, but more important, the goods and services are produced globally. In the beginning of the chapter, I told you today, multinational corporation is not only producing the goods in its country and then selling. See, if America wants, it can do everything in America and then send abroad, export abroad. But that will not give them much profit. But this, the way they have done, that is giving them profit, because in China, manufacturing is very cheap. In India, the labor is very cheap. So today, multinational corporations are producing the goods and services globally. They are producing, they are not selling the goods globally. The difference is there, children, and the whole chapter is based on this. So understand this concept. They are not selling goods globally, they are producing goods globally. As a result, today the production is organized increasingly in complex way. You may think, why an American owner, company owner, McDonald's owner, is doing this much of complex work? He's setting up his industry all over the world. Why is this? Why is he doing this much complex work? The production process is divided into small parts and spread out across the globe. Today, any owner sitting in any part of the world is able to set up his own company in all over the world. In above example, China provides the advantage of being cheap manufacturing location. Why is the owner is doing like this? Because in China, they have the cheap manufacturing sector. In Mexico and Eastern Europe are useful for their closeness to the market. In Mexico and Eastern Europe, they are close to the markets. Market means where they are able to sell the goods. So that is why in Mexico and Eastern Europe, the final product is made. Finally, in India, we have highly skilled engineers, software engineers, hardware engineers who can understand the technical aspects of the product. And it has also educated English speaking youth who can provide the customer care services. Sitting in a call center, they can call the customers and know the problems. By doing all this, a multinational corporation is getting 50 to 60% of profit. That means they are able to save this much on the cost, that is investment. So that is one way their profit for the multinational corporation. So the advantage of spreading out production across the borders to multinationals can be truly immense. So how much profit these multinational corporations are getting by doing this complex work, by producing the goods globally, you cannot even imagine. That is why so many today we see all the American companies in India, all the French companies in India, all the Scotland companies in India, banks, even their banks are located in India. We have American banks in India. So because they get lot of cheap labor in our country and lot of customers, not only labor, we have good market also, so much of population, so many rich people in India, so they have a good market also here. So that's why they set up their production units all over the world. So that's how the production across the globe is done, children, and that completes our first part of the chapter, and I hope you have followed. So the last part I'll end by saying this: what is the difference today we see in a company and a multinational corporation? A company will produce the goods in one's own country and simply export the goods, which even India used to do long before, when we used to export spices and our cotton. And today multinational corporations like Reliance companies or Infosys or Ranbaxy or these are Indian companies I'm naming, foreign companies like McDonald's, Nokia, all these companies, they are setting their production unit. They are producing in other countries. Not they are producing in their country, and in other countries also they are setting up their factories and companies and producing the goods. So that is the difference, major difference today. And we'll continue this part in the next part of the chapter, that is your interlinking production across the countries. Today, the whole world is interlinked with one another. How is this done by the multinational corporation? That's our next part. So that's all, children. Have a good day. And I hope you have followed this part. And if you have followed, children, please like this so that I can know that you have followed this part.